found a tube, and the minute I opened it, the smell transported me through time.
This One's Wife. Nobody without you. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Daniela Elsa writes in news.com.au, This One's Wife has returned to the spotlight without husband Prince Harry. She states, As far as I am aware, there are only 2 times that This One's Wife, the Duchess of Sussex, has been filmed with a gospel choir. The first was on the 19th of May 2018, when millions of giddy Brits wearing plastic tiaras refilled their picnic bubbly flutes and hiccupingly toasted to great love as a royal wedding for the ages played out in Windsor. And the second was at a restaurant in Venice in Los Angeles for a hair care brand launch last week. Well, that about sums it up, doesn't it? And pausing there, that is demonstrative with these 2 examples of the involvement of This One's Wife in a gospel choir to demonstrate the cavernous gulf between the 2 instances. One, a multi-million-pound wedding, which had the eyes of the world upon it as people looked forward to her joining the royal family. And now she's at a restaurant in Venice, in Los Angeles, turning up for a hair care brand launch where she wasn't actually wanted. Oh dear, what a comparison that happens to be. Elsa continues, After months of away time, out of frame, staying under the radar and not venturing near any of the LA restaurants surrounded by a Milky Way of paparazzi, This One's Wife returned to the spotlight for the debut of her hairstylist, Katie Lee's new highbrow hippie range. What can I tell you? But the Duchess smiled, while glowing, hugged Lee, who was holding roses reportedly from the Duchess's own garden, and wore a new $2,800 gold and diamond necklace engraved with her children's names. It was just the latest example of the increasingly separate public lives that the Duchess of Sussex and her ultimate status symbol, royal husband Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, have been living. And pausing there, again, that just demonstrates the fact that he is the status symbol, that he is the only reason that she is known, that he was character trait acquired by her and also came with a raft of benefits, pumping fuel, and he was easy to control. That is why her narcissism homed in on him, like a donkey eating strawberries, like a pig sniffing out a truffle. Consider that This One's Wife, continues Elsa, was not just at the highbrow hippie event as a starry supporter of Lee's, but an actual backer in the brand, telling in style, I am so proud to invest in her as a friend and as a female founder. The injection of her funds comes after the Duchess has been increasingly building out her own individual portfolio, including putting money in vegan latte company Clever and in bag brand Sesta Collective. This One's Wife's independent money-making moves come at a point at which the Sussexes no longer share any confirmed projects, with no joint TV series, podcast or books in the works. He's been filming horses for Netflix, she's been filming almond milk making or some such like, and never the twain shall meet. Their co-production of Meet Me at the Lake has not been heard from in so long, they should put the script's title page on a few milk cartons. On November the 7th, they delivered a message via video to a UN Global Ministerial Conference about online safety, but it's not known when it was shot. The suspicion is that it was earlier this year when they were in Colombia, of course. And the whole thing hardly serves as a fell-swoop rejoinder to reporting about their ever more self-sufficient two-stream professional lives. Socially, they are also keeping a much lower profile. There have been no date nights, no events, no red carpets, no interviews, and no outings that have seen them venture beyond their no doubt large and forbidding hedges, at least as far as been reported, photographed, or even rumoured. Pausing there. Let me pose a point to you, valuable viewers. Do you think the absence of the photographs of date nights and joint events is, one, because they're consciously decided not to have that shown, and they're still doing those things, but they've avoided it being papped and avoided it being publicised? Or two, do you think there's no pictures and reportage of those events because they're simply not happening, because they're not doing those things anymore? It's now more than 2 months since they were snapped leaving Tyler Perry's birthday party while doing their normal 1-2 step. Harry looking glowering and thunderous at the waiting press. This one, his wife, with a smile positively erudited in place. For everyone else, a nice break from having to frock up and front up to places would be a blessing. But the Sussexes are not just two ordinary marrieds. We're talking about a couple who literally work side by side at the Home Office in their guest house, and who have spent years so closely enmeshing and hand-stitching together their images and working lives, such that they probably now share the same blood type. This, of course, is all part of the control that is asserted over Harry by his narcissist wife. Meanwhile, as this one's wife puts her hard-earned dosh into investing in herself and becoming the Warren Buffett of the Westward set, Harry is off doing his own thing too, namely single-handedly bankrolling the London legal industry. On Friday, legal documents filed by the Duke's team read out in court alleged that King Charles had tried to block his son from suing the Sun's publisher news group newspapers. The papers also revealed that the 40-year-old is one of 2 people still undertaking legal action for alleged unlawful information gathering, with 39 other claimants having reached settlement since the case was last in court in July. While the Duchess has hardly hidden her aggrieved light behind a bushel when it comes to her treatment by Fleet Street, that is not to say that, according to reports earlier this year, that she's particularly pleased about the pugnacious route that her husband is going down either. Still, throughout this all, the view from Monty Shit Show has been consistent. Just because the Sussexes are not busy holding hands while making some 14-part docuseries about Indigenous land rights together, that is in no way a reflection of their personal lives. In October, a royal insider told People what we are seeing is a functional, healthy relationship with 2 working partners, not the contrary. It's clear that a twin-track approach is evolving, a friend told the magazine. The Duke and Duchess have now hit their stride as individuals, not just as a couple. Twin track is all well and good, but 2024 has clearly marked a real turning point in the Sussexes' story. Moments like this one's wife shimmying to a gospel choir in an LA restaurant at a celebrity hair colorist launch, while Harry reaches level 877 on Candy Crush in their lesser downstairs informal sitting room, are now looking increasingly par for the course. That's what Daniela Elsa has to state in relation to it, highlighting the separation. But in actual fact, we can go further. Look at what Harry has been doing recently. He's been in New York. He's been in London at the Wellchild Awards. He's been in Lesotho. He has been in Chicago, turning up at the Pat Tillman Foundation. He's been in Vancouver in relation to Invictus. He's gone back to doing the charitable stuff, and he's doing so alone. And who is it who's been reported on most? Harry. People remain interested in him. And, undoubtedly, there will be those that want him to return to the way that he was without her. What has she been doing? Well, isn't it interesting that the supposed charitable philanthropist Duchess isn't doing any of that? That she isn't working in a soup kitchen, she isn't helping the disadvantaged. And believe me, she's not. Because if she was doing it, we'd be hearing about it because she can't help herself. That is just demonstrative of the fact that she doesn't care about that side of things, that she never liked doing it. The only time she would do it would be to make herself look good, and if she has a choice of attending a red carpet event or helping out, doling out sandwiches to the homeless, she'll choose the former. What have we seen her do recently? She turned up at the green carpet for the LA Children's Hospital Gala. As was mentioned by Lizzie Cundy, it was all about her turning up for the photographs. She wasn't interested in the Children's Hospital. It was rumoured that she didn't even stay for the meal because she wasn't invited. She just muscled her way in to get some photographs taken. Furthermore, she was then seen at a children's event, but again, only briefly, and again for the photographs. But beyond that, nothing. Why? Because what she wants to do is the celebrity stuff. She wants all of the glamorous events, but she's not getting invited to them. She's repeatedly NFI'd. And this leaves her with a problem. Having decided that she's not going to do much, if any, of the charitable and philanthropic work, which Harry is now embarking on, what's she left with? Nothing. Because she's not a celebrity. Not really. She's a mediocre actress that married a prince. That's the only reason that she's known. She has no talent in her own right, no entrepreneurial skills, nothing meaningful to tell the world, no content creation ability. Therefore, without him, she's a nobody. And this is what is becoming all the clearer. As for whatever reason, be it professional or possibly also personal, with Harry jetting around doing the charitable works, doing the things that he actually enjoys, she isn't joining him. And she's either joining him because there is just simply a professional separation, or it's something greater than that. But the fact is that this leaves her with nothing, because without him, she is nothing. She has accompanied him to the Invictus Games previously and sought to take it over. She's accompanied him to various charitable events, again looking to take it over, and then drags him to the more celeb-based activities. But the problem is, Harry will continue to have people wanting to involve him in charitable endeavours. It's what he's used to, and it's what he's reasonably good at. But for her, she decided she doesn't want to be involved in that, and that means that she wants to focus on the celebrity lifestyle stuff. But what have you got? Nothing. Nobody's inviting her to anything. Nobody wants to be associated with her. She can't be asked to do anything with her lifestyle brand because it's fundamentally shit. And as a consequence of this, it demonstrates that without Harry, she's a nobody. This means that her narcissism will endeavour to try and find somebody else to take his place, because she needs to be somebody, and she became somebody because of him. But now without him, because that's essentially where she's at, because they're not doing anything professionally together, it highlights just how she is an empty nobody, that she is nobody without Harry. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.